Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is January 2nd, 2026, and the authorities are saying the fire that killed at least 47 at the Swiss ski resort, it was likely caused by fireworks known as champagne sparklers. Deadly champagne sparklers. And again, you learn Gematria, the simple practice of coding numbers into words, and everything just starts to make so much sense. It's unbelievable. Again, the gematria of the English language is different than what those rabbis do. It's something Jesuit priests encoded into the English language and synced up with the Gregorian calendar, which they also invented and implemented. Again, the only reason it's January 2026 is because of the Jesuits. The only reason we're speaking English as we know it is because of the Jesuits. These people are the hidden hand of the world, and they're known for being evil. They're the military order of the Catholic Church, and as you'll learn, they're clearly psychotic. Anyway, notice champagne sparklers, 187 and 79, like Society of Jesus. That's the Jesuits. And if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language. They're so elementary you could teach them to a small child. Their A, B, C is 1, 2, 3. Up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. That's the first cipher, the alphabetic order. Also running the alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1, back to A is 26, and both orders with numerology applied to each letter. So there's 4 base ciphers. And you can see Society of Jesus equals 191, 56, 187, 79. And we're going to go back and look at all of the New Year's headlines. But remember, there were 2 big fires on New Year's Day, one that killed 47 people and one that killed 2 in Amsterdam that burned up the Vondel Church. Notice how Vondel Church is 191, like Society of Jesus. And again, fireworks, they equate to 56, like Society of Jesus. And the fireworks have a big connection, actually, to the history of the Jesuits. For one, they used the gunpowder from fireworks to try and kill King James on Remember the 5th of November, the Jesuit treason, as it's known in history. And also, the Jesuits used fireworks during the Counter-Reformation to say, hey, you Protestants, look how awesome our fireworks celebrations are. We must be the most connected to God. Come back on over to our nice big cathedrals and our firework displays. Now, with regards to New Year's, in case you forgot everything that happened that day, because it was already, almost 48 hours ago. Mom Donnie, who won the primary in New York on modern Freemasonry's birthday at age 33. Remember, modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. From him winning the primary to being sworn in by the numbers was 191 days. And if you're out there going, what does the Society of Jesus got to do with a Muslim? The answer is everything, but I'm not going to explain it all right now. Again, they control the Muslim puppets too. They control the whole shit show. They love keeping the world divided and conquered. The poor 19-year-old girl, Camila Mendoza Olmos from San Antonio, Texas. She was discovered, and that was a top story as we went into the new year. And now we have Tommy Lee Jones' daughter dead, who's also born in San Antonio, Texas. And if you missed my video on that this morning, it's also the same numbers. But yeah, where this Swiss ski resort burned up, killing all these people, blamed on champagne sparklers. It's in Crans, Montana, which equates to 191. See how this works? And again, the Vondel Church burns up 191, and Mom Donnie's birthday is the day, leaving 74 days left in the year. We'll skip that for now. But again, these are the base ciphers. And if you missed the way we closed out 2025, we'll call her character the Big Tit Bimbo. We had the debate with the Big Tit Bimbo, and she was really struggling to understand these 4 ciphers, and I kept explaining to her that I learned them from The Secret Teachings of All Ages, a book written nearly 100 years ago, and he introduces all 4 ciphers in the book. So I've called them the base ciphers, and I've researched them now for more than a decade and seen that they are a complete system that are used day after day ritualistically. And I explained this to her about 500 times, but the big tip bimbo just couldn't get it. And she kept going like, well, why not just use this cipher or that cipher? And I kept saying, it's just, you don't know how to answer a question that just doesn't make sense. Like, it's a system like you see right here. Society of Jesus, 191, 56, 187, 79. Here we got the champagne sparklers, 187, 79, which are fireworks, 56. Blame for burning up the ski resort, killing all these people, again in Franz, Montana, which equates to 191. And this hadn't happened yet when we were debating the big tip bimbo, but it's just another example from hours later, when we only needed examples from just hours before showing the same thing. And until eternity, until this Jesuit cabal is put to rest, it'll be the same thing day after day. So again, all you guys who continue to deny this information, I'm telling you, you become part of the evil. If you come across this information and you deny this information and you don't look into this information, you become part of the evil. And that's not some cap or some exaggeration. That's a fact. Remember Martin Luther King Jr., he said, silence is betrayal. If you're silent to evil, if you're silent to tyranny, you become part of that evil and tyranny. And don't forget, he assumed his name, Martin Luther, after the Protestant Reformation leader who wrote the 95 Theses, only to get smoked on the 95th day of the year was Martin Luther King Jr. in a sick Jesuit ritual. And yes, murder equals 79, just like how Tommy Lee Jones is 79 and his daughter's dead by a ritual of the same numbers. But murder 79, 187 is the homicide code. Champagne sparklers, 187, 79. English, the language spread across the world like this calendar. They have everybody celebrating the new year in the northern hemisphere, and really the whole world, but in the northern hemisphere where the majority of people live, where the church comes from, in the natural time of death, when you look outside and the plants are dead. Things are not anew. This is not a new year. This is a death cult that has us on their schedule. We'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. RIP to all the latest victims.